Hey, welcome to this video. The most important concerns with sellers placing their home on the market during COVID-19 are the risk of people coming in and out of their home. There are no buyers, the home will sit for sale longer, and the offers will be lower. So in this video, I will show you with data how we can combat these concerns in today's market. Hey, Israel Favela here with One Real Estate Group. During this pandemic, it's so important for us to make educated decisions based on data. And the concerns I listed out earlier are legitimate concerns, and intuitively, one might think to correlate this pandemic with a potential housing crisis. And I'm so excited to share this data with you to help clear any misconceptions and ultimately provide peace of mind to anyone on the fence in selling their home. Hey, so let's jump right into it. So the first concern is the risk of people coming in and out of their home, which, like I mentioned earlier, is a legitimate concern, especially if the home is still occupied. So one of the safety precautions that we've been taking here in El Paso is one of them is for anybody that's coming into the home to wear a mask. We can also have them wear gloves ahead of time, or one of the things that I've been doing when I show homes to my buyers is to show up earlier and to open all the doors, turn on all the lights. And as soon as my buyers walk in, I let them know, we're trying to eliminate the amount of touches that we have here in the house. If there's anything that you want me to open, I'll open the door. That way we can eliminate, like I mentioned, a lot of the touches that happen within the home. And another measure that can also be taken is having people wear booties. So they basically cover the shoe so the sole of the foot does not have any contact with the floor. Another one is to also have disinfectant after every showing, just wipe it down. And another one that I'm enjoying a lot is virtual tours. So the reason I like that is because it helps a buyer get a better understanding of the home without just solely relying on the pictures, but also relying on certain videos or another program called Matterport, which allows you to take 3D images and allow you to scroll around as if you're actually in the home and give you a better and more true sense of what the home looks like at the comfort of your home. So what that does is it definitely helps out buyers to really pick and choose which homes they want to really see based on these videos and help them narrow it down a lot better. And the next concern is that no one's going to want to see any homes. I mean, who in their right mind is going to want to go and risk their lives to go see a home during COVID-19? And it makes complete sense. But if you take a look at this data provided by ShowingTime, which is a company that allows us to set appointments through this app with other agents. Now, if you extract the information solely from Texas, you notice that around mid-March, it actually took a dip. And it started taking a dip and it dropped to its lowest at late March. And it was about 44% decrease from the beginning of the year, which is a huge decrease, right? So now if you take a look at the graph from late March all the way to now to mid-May, you notice that it took a huge jump and it's now at the same trajectory as it was last year for showings, which is a huge amount of information that people are still wanting to buy homes. People still need to go out and look for homes. So another thing also is that people are more enticed right now to buy a home. The interest rates, I've seen them drop as low as 2.75 and as high as 3.75. Granted, it does depend on your credit. And also another thing too is that the credit limit has increased to be able to qualify for a loan. But what that means for you as a seller is that you're going to get a more qualified buyer, which is great because whenever you actually have a contract between you and the buyer, the chances and the risk of it falling apart mid-contract is actually decreased because of them being a more qualified buyer. So that definitely works in your favor. The third concern is that the home's gonna sit on the market way longer. Now, what I was able to do is get some information from our MLS, our multiple listing service, and I was able to get the data from last year from mid-March to mid-May. So during that time period, the average days on market is 54 days. Now this year within that same time frame, because I'm comparing apples to apples, is 44 days. So it's taken a 10-day decrease during this pandemic, which is crazy, So one of the reasons for that too is that there's not that many listings out there. So if you want to get ahead of the game and put your home on the market and miss that, that wave of sellers that are going to start putting their home on the market, now is a really good time to put your home on the market. Given other factors too, the price and everything. But based on that small piece of information, that is definitely a huge plus for a seller. Now, one might argue the reason that the days on market have gone down so significantly is because the home values have actually decreased. Now, if you also look at the data from our MLS within the same constraints that I mentioned earlier, the median sales price last year within this time frame was about $149,000. This year, within the same constraint, the average sales price is $159,000. So it's been about a $10,000 increase, which is, significant as well. Now, the last concern is we'll be receiving low offers. Now, with this one, I was also able to gather some data within the same time constraints from mid-March to mid-May. In 2019, we're going to be analyzing the sales price versus the listed price. So the sales price tells us what it actually sold for, and the list price is the price that it was initially marketed at. So if we divide those two, that's going to give us a percentage. So for 2019, it was 97.3%. So just as an example, if you were to sell your home for $100,000 in 2019 within those time constraints, you can anticipate for the sales price to be $97,300. That's what that ratio means. Now, fast forward to this year, the ratio is 97.85%, which means that it's increased 0.55% since last year. Now, granted, it's such a small percentage that it's negligible. So what that's telling us based on the data is that last year's offers and this year's offers are the same. So really, this pandemic hasn't really affected the type of offer that we're getting. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found this informative and also provided you with some peace of mind if you were ever on the fence to sell during this time. If you know of anybody that needs to hear this information, feel free to share it. I'm going to be pushing out some more content, so stay tuned and don't forget to click that subscribe button.